But in today's video, I wanted to talk about hope. Sometimes we feel very hopeless in our lives. We feel like we're very lost, we're confused on this walk, and we feel like basically we feel stuck. But one thing that we need to understand about feeling stuck is that is just an emotion. We just feel stuck. And understand, this walk isn't perfect, okay? It's a battle between the spirit and the flesh every single day, okay? And the thing is, you're not gonna have everything figured out on this walk. It's really with trial and error. It's with storms that we grow in. Sometimes God puts us through storms and certain things to humble us, but also help us gain a different perspective about certain things that we go through. I feel like sometimes we hold this expectation to be so perfect. That's when we'll struggle more. Understand we're not perfect, okay? Jesus Christ is the only perfect human being. But this walk is not easy. And I love talking about this because I feel like some Christian videos and some Christian influencers, they don't talk about the dark sides of Christianity. Dealing with lust, dealing with addictions, dealing with depression, anxiety, all of these things. That's what you will experience on this walk no matter what. But understand, these are feelings. Feelings come and go, and feelings can be deceiving. The best thing that you can do is just sit with these feelings. Don't camp out there, but just sit with it for a while. Feel them, and then release them with love and compassion. And let me tell you something right now. Lust, my friend, lust is a very hard thing to battle. That is like the final boss. I don't know if you guys watch anime, or if you watch these superhero, these movies, but there's always that final boss, right? And that's what I feel like lust is. I'd be lying if I told you guys I don't struggle with lust. Lust is hard. That's like the hardest thing. But the things that we have to understand is we have to make the commitment to not do certain things just because our flesh wants to do it. Because look, sometimes whenever you do certain things, you regret it after. And then you feel like God's mad at you. You feel like you're not worthy of God's love. Understand, we're humans. We're imperfect. We make mistakes. This walk is never going to be perfect, all right? But God sees you trying. God hears your cries. God hears your prayers. Even when you don't think that He doesn't hear your prayers, He hears you. But the reason why we get stuck in this mindset is because our prayers aren't being answered right away. There are some things that you prayed for that you are in right now. When you pray for strength, understand you're going to experience trials and errors. If you pray for patience, God's going to give you patience in certain things. So when you pray for all these things, don't expect it to be all sunshine and rainbows, my friend, because it's not. But there's a beauty within the struggle. There's a beauty within suffering. Because if we didn't have suffering, we would never grow. We would never be able to have a positive and better outlook on things that we used to go through. And sometimes bad things happen to us so that we can grow. And there's a beauty within that. Yeah, I went through all these things, but that turns you into the person that you are today. Yeah, people might have done you wrong. Yeah, you might have been hurt. But also, you've hurt people. I've hurt people. And we're not perfect. Understand, we have to experience pain to grow. So when you are going through certain things, ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? How can I grow from this? And how can I switch my perspective on this? God is always testing us, whether we believe it or not. With certain events, certain people. So understand, you are where you are right now. God has you exactly where you need to be right now. Don't rush this process. Do not rush this process. You are literally transforming into the person that God has you set out to be. At least you can admit your faults. Because some people don't admit their faults. At least you can admit it. Yeah, I've made mistakes. Yeah, I've done these things. How can I progress? How can I work harder? How can I become better? Always have a mindset of becoming better. You want to become better. You want to become the best version of yourself for Christ. So don't be so hard on yourself. Feel these emotions, endure the pain, and continue to lean on God, even when it's hard. Sometimes we're so quick to point our fist at God and say, why are you doing this to me? But you ever ask yourself, why are you doing this to yourself? Maybe God is actually guiding you, but you're self-sabotaging it. Think about that. God has given you the tools. God has given you the pavement and the walkway. But if you keep going back in your flesh and keep turning left and right, sometimes we miss what God is showing us in front of us. So keep going.